Tigers. Mick Heary is with me in commentary again this afternoon. 1 versus 2. What more do you want on a Sunday afternoon?
Mate, 3 rounds to go, and I think I don't think it can finish any either way. 2 real good sides, deserve to be 1 and 2. Spoke to Steve Dowd, the Tigers coach, and I suggested or hinted to him one of the good things. They still appear to be flying under the radar. Everyone's still talking about Burleigh, of course. They're talking about the Currumbins and the Churgans, but they're still flying, and they're a terrific side, Tigers. And if you have a look on the ladder, 51 points versus 46 points, but the differential's the one that gets me. We're 270 Burleigh plus, and it's a 221. They score plenty of points, Tigers. So this will be a cracker. It'll be a cracker, Scotty. Well,
they helped their differential last weekend with getting a 72 points to 6 victory over Ormo. Burleigh as well, they racked up the points themselves, getting 48-0 over the Shearers, I think it was. Who did they play? Belamble it was last weekend. So both teams coming in. They were 2 of the teams down towards the bottom of the ladder, but they'll be coming in with plenty of confidence this afternoon. It's going to be a cracker.
And if Currumba didn't seal third spot last week, they did yesterday, beating Runaway Bay in the last 5 minutes.
So first possession here to Burleigh. We'll make note, as across the country, no doubt, the conditions have been tricky this weekend. Not too dissimilar up here this afternoon. The breeze really swirling around. Hard to say if it really favours any team at the moment. It's just blowing all over the shop. But it will play a factor here this afternoon, no doubt.
Oh, the conditions are very windy. They're going to have to tighten the game up a lot. I don't know. We're a little bit inland up here, but I walked Burleigh Hill this morning. There was snow on top, Scotty. So the conditions are not great.
Well, 2 surprising factors there, that you actually walked the hill and then there was snow, so I don't know which is more surprising. But now we might have come up with an error here. No, I think the referee is just going to say that it was held. So Rutley at the back this afternoon for Southport, doing the damage. The ball just popped out a little bit after, but the tackle was complete. So Southport hold on to the football. Not a bad opening set there for Burleigh. Matt Egan getting the kick away. Now there's an error here though. So a couple of plays later, and we might have picked up an injury at the same time as well. It hasn't really moved all that much. The ball spilt out, so there might be a little bit of concern here for one of the Southport players, which you can't quite see who it is at the moment.
So this is, and I would say, I don't know how you rule it, but it's an iffy decision in our game. Like, he's been hitting a cracker tackle, going down. He's clearly knocked out by the look of him, and loses the ball and that. But there's an argument to suggest that they should maintain possession. But they won't.
Tavita Folau, who's down at the moment, doesn't look too good. Bit of concern there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything nasty, and it was just one of those things that happened.
So we'll make mention as well, quite a significant day yesterday afternoon for the Southport Tigers, with their Women's Division 2 side taking the victory in the grand final in the South East Queensland competition. That's a milestone moment for the Southport Tigers, winning 14-0 over Ormo. Did it on the road as well, so it's a great job from the Tigers girls.
Scotty, I went up last week. Burleigh played West Tigers in the Division 1, so I went to Brisbane. It's unbelievable how far women's rugby league's going ahead in leaps and bounds, and Southport, well done, Div 2 yesterday, and I'm sure, but don't quote me, I think Bay Desert won the Div 3 as well, so the 2 Gold Coast women's side done particularly well, and well done to both of you. And
it was great to see as well, having a look at the live stream coverage. The crowd out there at Ormo yesterday was huge. It was fantastic, so really good to see, and you're spot on. The women's games coming along leaps and bounds at the moment. The Women's Rugby League competition must be due to get underway quite shortly as well.
Well, I know last week the Div 1, the Queensland Div 1, I know New South Wales played their Div 1 grand final yesterday. The Div 1, they had to bring it back a week because of the NRL commitments that those sides have got to get together shortly. So the next week or two, for sure and certain, that con will be underway. And a lot of Gold Coast girls will be playing in that too, don't you worry.
So Tavita Folau has come, looks like he's making his way off the field. So it might be a bit of concussion protocol as well. I look a little bit confused. I think he was looking to stay on the field if possible. There's still a bit of confusion.
Still confusion.
Out there. We're waiting to see if the scrum will pack. He's going to head back out onto the field. He's going to
So that's a minute in, Scotty. So at local A grade level, is that a doctor's decision, or is that FAI? Does he make that decision?
I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's an interesting one. They're the protocols that you probably do need to see flow down into the grassroots level. It doesn't really matter what level that you're playing at. The player's safety needs to be paramount.
And certainly the days of I'm all right, they're gone, mate.
Yeah, how many fingers am I holding up? And you just, I've got 2, mates. Just say 2. 2. Yep, you're good to go. Carry on. But Burleigh, we're back underway finally after that short little break, and Falau is still out on the wing position. He's made his way out to the right-hand side here for the Tigers, but Egan here holds the ball up. Outside runners just coming in on the in-line, and there's a penalty here being taken off the ball. A little bit of confusion. I can't say I saw it myself there. The referee is relaying that information there to the captain for Southport.
Well, that flew under our guard, but as long as he's consistent, we haven't got an issue with that.
So they'll tap and go here with Jordan Scott. He dishes the ball. Vellini taking the hit up. They come out the left-hand side. Toa goes short. Met nicely in defence there. Prehi.
Yeah, that was great defence, Southport Tigers.
Coming outside in. Now they go back in towards the middle of the field. Dylan Kelly. Met nicely again. They push him back as well. About 5 metres out for the line here, Burleigh Bears. They come back out again. Toa runs towards the line. Just sprays out the back. They manage to pick up the crumbs. Muir-Ogle diving on the ball. Falau chasing that loose ball as well for Southport. Egan takes his time, puts it up. Taken nicely at the back as well. Pretty comfortable. Wasn't too much pressure on Rutley on that occasion, so they hold out as Conlon has a little run from half. So Falau, he's dusted the cobwebs off. Goes from half himself. 4 in the tackle there from Burleigh. And the penalty, the home side and the crowd, they're happy. First penalty here for the Tigers, and Rutley will kick towards the sideline.
He's big on his 10 metres, this referee, Mr. Swass.
That's the last thing you want is a big 10 metres when you're battling these hurricane-like conditions as well.
Well, Scotty, who's the wind's favouring? I know it's Hurricane Harry down there, but who is it actually favouring?
Yeah, it's hard to say, actually. Early on, it looked like it was going to be behind the Burleigh Bears, but it looks like it's blowing across field at the moment, so I don't think any team's really going to get major advantage from it. Like we said at the start of the broadcast, it is going to play an effect with kicking games as well, no doubt. But great chance here for the Tigers as Paulson takes it forward. Hampson out of half. They play short, the two props. They come back the right-hand side again. Hampson. Parehi takes the line himself. Still trying to push. Last tackle. What options do Southport go with? Referee's just going to hold the ball up here. Still wrestling. He's going to roll it exactly where the play was stopped.
Without question.
Oh, no. 1 metre to the left.
That's it. You beauty.
Dayberg Muir takes the line himself. Last tackle gets the offload out the back. It's still on the deck here. Burleigh Bears, yeah, all they had to do was fall on the ball and they pick it up. That's what they do, and they lost possession in the same motion there, the Tigers.
And the veins in Steve Dowd's neck would be popping out with that play. That was horrible, Southport Tigers.
So in the end, they give the ball up in pretty good field position. As Anderson cuts it forward. Nice little run out of acting half. Gets him right into Southport territory now.
Jordan Scott, plenty of interest super coming in.
Anderson again. Last tackle here for the Bears. Toa just runs behind one of his players. Picked up out the back. Toa makes the tackle as well. So both teams just sort of feeling their way into the match so far.
Absolutely, Scotty. It's a dead set arm wrestle at the moment. You'd expect nothing less 5-10 minutes into the game.
Conlon, another run from half.
They both feel very comfortable in their own skin, Scotty, don't they?
Yeah, it is. It'll be just interesting to see how both teams work themselves into the match. No doubt it'll just be a high emphasis on completing their sets, trying to outgrind the others as Dayberg Muir turns it back on the inside. Nice offload out there on the left-hand edge for the Tigers. They're just shy of the halfway line. As two rolls over that end of the field now. They're in the Bears territory. Fifth tackle here. Now the ball has spilt out in the ruck. Referee says knock on. So another mistake there for Southport. They're just not putting the polish on their end of their sets at the moment.
Yeah, silly mistakes that you've got to. If they're going to be a chance here to go against this Burleigh side, this star-studded Burleigh side, which I know we said that a few weeks ago against Tugan, they just got to play mistake-free football, and as Tugan did the other week, Scotty, they completely out-enthused the star-studded Burleigh side as they've got today. So, but mate, a little mistake there, but I think they've started particularly well, Tigers.
Yeah, as you made mention early on, they have had a good run. They have gone a little bit under the radar as the ball really spills out of the back of the scrum here. It's picked up in the end. They've had a good run of victories over the last few weeks. The only team that Southport haven't beaten so far this year is Burleigh. They've played twice already. Burleigh have beaten them both times.
And Coach Dowd publicly stated he would like to beat them going into the semi-finals.
3 weeks out, so really coming towards the crunch point of the season. And, geez, you get a lot of momentum going in if you know that, you can knock off the top side going into those final series. Still a lot of football to go, though, in the competition and out here this afternoon particularly. But it's going to be great to see where it all ends up at the end of this one.
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic final series, Scotty, without question.
Nice short ball from Toa. Gets the offload as well, but it's spilt there from George House. They play on here and they skirt on the outside. Rutley just picking up the crumbs at the back, decides to take the line on himself. First time we've sort of seen the Burleigh Bears offload going towards the line. Almost got the rub of the green on that occasion. Just couldn't hold on to that last ball there, George House.
Yeah, young bloke down from Cairns, dipping his toe in the water. He goes all right, George.
So Alan Boyong plays the ball now. Conlon again from half. He's had probably 3 or 4 runs from acting half already in this match. Getting his hands on the ball nice and early. Nagati over the halfway line.
They're good meters.
Yeah, the big boys have been doing a pretty good job so far for the Tigers as Rutley sends this one up. It's swirling around and George House takes it nicely.
He swallowed that.
Nice run back as well from House. Anderson grabs across field. We'll see the outside backs doing some work here for the Bears. There has been a mistake. Well, forward pass has been called.
Gee whiz. Where'd he pluck that from?
Oh, Touchy. Has the Touchy picked something up there? Again, it's hard in conditions like this, is it? The breeze is swirling around. The referees ideally should be looking to see whether the ball comes out of the hand backwards. It will naturally progress forward from time to time. I can't say my first instinct was to say that ball was forward, but...
Well, Scotty, I clearly questioned it, but the Southport Tigers officials in the box with us absolutely assured me it was forward, so that'll do, mate.
And they'll be completely unbiased.
Absolutely.
Completely unbiased. I always get nervous when I commentate and there's officials from the home crowd or home team in the box. They let you know if they disagree with your commentary, that's for sure.
Well, Scotty, I can cop the bad look. I don't like them Cairns in the back of the head at Churgan.
Well, you're okay because I'm blocking you from them at the moment. So they're going to get to me first, but it won't take much to get me. So good chance here for Southport. Hampson goes short. Nice work. Good tackle over the top there from Vellini. But they've got a good roll on. They're trying to get the quick roll ball here. They go at the left side. Dayberg Muir again. Throws it over the top, and it's been put behind. I think you had a little bit of a look at the line on that occasion, or the defence coming towards him, because if he managed to take that and get on the outside of his wing defender, might have been a chance there for Southport.
Mate, I thought that 4 points written all over it, that. Gee whiz. I don't know whether it was the wind or he did have a bit of a bow peep at the line, but you know, yet again, I think if Tigers are going to be in this game, and I expect them to do that, they've got to take those opportunities, mate, for sure.
Got another Tiger down here. It's been a bit of a rough start for the home side this afternoon. Couple of injuries early on.
Yeah, we talked about Churgan a couple of weeks ago. Churgan, I think, have opened the door for every other club in the local competition. You know, they know Burleigh can be beaten. And if you go through Burleigh's record of late, clearly they're still the side to beat, but they struggled against Ormo at Ormo. You know, they struggled, and I'm fairly certain the last score at Burleigh last time these two met was 16-10, if I remember right. So, you know, that's not a heck of a lot in it. And we do know, I've seen Steve Dowd coach for years and years, and I love his sides. They're 1 to 17. Every player does his job, and you just know he gets them all together. They all know what their job is, and, mate, he's always, a Steve Dowd coach side is always hard to beat.
Yeah, so it's Simeone Arta who picked up the injury there. I've just been assessing the head. He's made his way back into the scrum. He'll be holding the jaw from what we can see.
And the Southport water runner, he blends in well. They've fitted him out particularly well.
The camouflage orange shirt tactic.
Mate, the game's 11 minutes in. He's been on the field for 14 minutes.
Put a number on the back of his shirt, might as well.
Alfie Langer, there you go, mate.
Bit of the Alfies about him. We'll keep an eye on him. So Burleigh coming out of their end of the field. Throwing a few offloads in. Not afraid to throw the ball around early in their set. It's House. A bit slow to get to his feet as well. He goes back down now at the moment. So just over the 20, the Bears. A short ball there from Zepanowski. Linking up there with Vellini, so the two props working together. Last tackle, they're shy of the 40. Let's see if this breeze plays effect. There's Egan goes to big spiral, torpedo bomb. And nicely taken at the back there from Rutley, just on the fingertips. Almost dipped away from him on the end. Still going. He's quite elusive at the back, isn't he, Rutley? Manages to beat the first tackle on most occasions.
I was guessing with the weather conditions that they'd be a bit shaky under the high balls, but both fullbacks they're playing the game or using the wind particularly well. Doesn't seem to worry them.
It's Falau. Good meters. He's dusted off after that early injury.
Yeah, well done, Falau.
They come back in the middle of the field. Guardy. Hampson goes to Dayberg Muir. Puts it on the toe, and that has gone out on the full.
Out on the full.
Yeah, so he couldn't quite get exactly what he wanted on that kick. Not too sure if the play, they're sort of looking around at each other here, the Tigers. Something's gone awry, but the final execution off the boot there from Dayberg Muir, not the kick he would have been looking for.
Well, it's rare for a home side halfback to kick the ball out on the full. That's no matter who they're playing for. You know, the odd front rower might belt one out here and there, but your halfbacks normally got the ball on a string when they're playing at home.
Got to know every blade of grass on this oval, don't you?
Yes. I was waiting for it. I roped you in and you said it. Every blade of glass.
Every blade. All right, the Bears. Still no score on the board here. Match of the round through Bar TV this afternoon. 1 and 2 on the table. Nice run from Vellini. Again, he's been pretty good in the opening stages of this match. They play out the back, and it's opened up here for Toa. He just takes the space. And Dayberg Muir it was again, the man who kicked it out on the fall. He's got his hands up in the air, apologising to the boys already. Screamed up out of the line, just opened up the space there for the Bears, and it's opening points for Konatoa.
Well, the only concern with Southport Tigers, we know they can score points, but they've held their season together on defence. As we say with the Steve Dowd coach sides, they all know their job. But that try for mine, Scotty, was just a bit too easy. Gee whiz, that opened up. The big gap opened, and I reckon he's run 25 metres to score the try, which is, and he's popped up, looked up, and no one there.
Yeah, I suppose that was the concerning point as well, as the Southport player that screamed up out of the line, but once he got through that line, there still wasn't anybody else around either. Strolled over pretty much untouched in the end. So it might have been a bit of concern there for the Tigers opening on. 2 easy opening points for the Burleigh Bears, but took a bit of time to get the opening points in the end.
Mate, I like it. It appears both sides that they haven't let the wind threaten them. It's Burleigh certainly throwing the ball around and chancing their arm, which I love to see.
So it'll be a tough conversion attempt here. We're about 10 in from the sideline. Interesting to see how use the wind. I really can't pick which way the wind's going. Looks like it might have died off a little bit.
Yeah, he knows it's coming and going, but it's handy when you look up and you see your winger that's kicking goals was playing NRL last year, Tyrone Roberts-Davis.
And
over she
slots
goes.
it. So no doubt, no question, conversion is successful. So slots it over 6-0 on the scoreboard now.
And I suppose that's with the backlash or the flow back of players. You've got the TRDs playing local A grade, playing NRL last year. You also got he's kicking goals, and I'll tell me if I'm wrong. He's as good a goal kicker as any. Is also Matty Egan. He's kicked. So you've got the backup in a few departments.
And it helps on days like these when you can get those extra 2 points. Every point will matter, particularly when you're taking on number 2 on the ladder. So a bit of a wobbly restart for the Tigers. Sanderson has a run. Go through the middle. A couple of bodies coming together. Zepanowski.
Absolutely. 2 front rowers, which is great.
Egan slung to the ground as well. Gets back to his feet.
Matty Egan of the closed line 26, proprietor.
Yes. Young businessman.
Going along well. You always like the young bloke chancing their arm in any department. Here we go. What a play that was.
Well, an interesting one. That's probably, you could see the effect of the wind there. There really wasn't too much off the boot. It just managed to hold up, and everyone just kind of was standing around watching for it.
Yeah.
And it fell in the arms of Stratton. Before you know it, he almost ran through the line. Tigers managed to close that one down. And the Bears, they're putting pressure on early on here defensively. Nice run, but met nicely as well. Henderson coming in to finish that one off with Dylan Kelly.
I know we say it every week, Scotty, but points are unbelievable. Burleigh's just knocked this up again here.
Yeah, you can definitely get that extra bit of sting in your attack after you get some points. Momentum is everything in the game of footy, and it's with the Bears at the moment. As Rutley.
There's your wind. Have a look at that.
Yeah,
that is unbelievable.
Again. So twice in a short period of time here, the Tigers have sent it out on the full, and they are going to give a golden opportunity in great field position here to the Burleigh Bears.
Well, pre-game, we're worried about the wind. The back door was open. Paper flew straight out the window. So that gave us an indication the wind was blowing across field. And if that wasn't enough, that kick certainly was. He's kicked that down the middle of the field, and it's finished out in the full. So see the cross-field wind, which I don't think is favouring anybody. I think we saw a game, the earlier game, reserve grade game, which Burleigh hung on 124-22. The bloke kicked for touch, and he didn't get it out on the full. So you'd think you'd throw it in the air with this wind, and it'd blow itself out.
And the funny thing about that one was he was only standing about 5 metres from the touchline when he kicked it. So, yeah, it was really throwing it all around. As House goes a short ball there to Stratton. Taking down the left-hand side. They go back that way again. Anderson manages to get on the outside. He buries in himself here. Anderson, has he got the ball down? Looks like he has. Second try here too, the Burleigh Bears. And purely comes off that kick that went out on the full. They had great field position. They came down this left-hand side twice. Second time, they got the points.
Yeah, Caleb Anderson, an ex-Parramatta under-20 player, and played Intrust Super Cup as well. But that try is purely led from the... I don't know whether you say the horrible option, but their fifth tackle option, they've kicked it out on the full, put Burleigh straight back on the attack in a great field position, and not less than 6 tackles later they've scored in on the outside to go to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, danger signs now for Southport. Burleigh completely looking the goods in the last 5 to 10 minutes. They haven't really had great field position the times that they have, and they've been trying to get out of their end of the field. Like you just said, it's their kicking game that's been letting them down so far.
Well, Scotty, the good thing about the Tigers side, and I'd keep harping dowdy, but they they're sides that don't go, that they don't give up, they don't go. It'll be back to the wall. You'll see they'll come out with grit and grind here the next 5 minutes. You sit back and think, oh, geez, they want to watch themselves. There's danger signs here, but I'll rest assured they'll show us something in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
So Roberts Davis right on this left-hand sideline. See how he strikes it. He did strike it nicely. I think he was trying to adjust for the wind to come and curl it back in.
That stopped.
No assistance.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. So perhaps it might have been a bit harsh on the Tigers fullback. Was it Rutley that kicked it out on the full?
Yep.
Yeah.
So just hard to pick it. Like we said just before, it looked like it really picked up a bit
Well,
now.
maybe they pick the grass up and throw it in the air before they kick, or lick their finger.
That is the only way you can actually test which way the wind is going is to pick up a couple of strands of grass and throw it in the air. So the Bears off the restart. Again, let's see how they go with this set. They'll just be looking to complete, no doubt. Or do they chance their arm? We've seen them go with a few early offloads early in their tackle count as well. They're playing through the middle of the field at the moment. Diligently. Nice meters and run there from Kelly. Zepanowski now gets him over the halfway line.
Still eligible for under 20s, Zepanowski.
Yeah, plenty of young talent. It's good to see when the young fellas come through, and then there's that mix of experience, former Intrust Super Cup players, a few with NRL experience, and then you got these young up-and-coming under-20s kids that get to play with these experienced heads. Does a great for their development as Egan sends it up. Rutley, again, it's been pretty good under the high ball. We'll give him that. The last kick went out on the full, but out the back, he's done a pretty good job to diffuse some of the bombs from Matt Egan so far in the match.
Yeah, both sides have been real good under the high ball.
So Folau from half. Hampson picks up, goes short. Seve onto the field now. A few changes for the Tigers. Folau again from half, goes through the middle. Nice run from Folau. Gets the offload as well. Dallas Donnelly.
Yeah, that's good football, Scotty. They're great meters.
Hampson. Parihi sends it up. Turns House back. Has he caught it? Play on. Caught it in the field of play. Still going here, though. The chase isn't all that good here for the Tigers. House. He's got players on the inside. He gives it on the outside of Roberts Davis. He gets on the outside of Rutley. Roberts Davis is streaming down the end of the field. This is going to be a 100-metre try for the Burleigh Bears. Wow, too good there from Burleigh. One of the tries of the season. But the Tigers just didn't put any defensive pressure coming in off that kick. And the Bears, they go the full distance. Third try on the board.
Well, Scotty, I know it's fish and chip paper now, but I'd like to see a replay. I reckon that's a 7-tackle restart.
It did look like he was deep in the in-goal area, didn't it?
And perhaps the Southport players thought it. Clearly, you play the whistle. Perhaps they stood back and thought the same thing I thought. And all of a sudden, they've gone 100 metres. You've got TRD scoring under the post with a conversion to come. You would think a 16-0 lead.
Yeah, but gee, either
way.
But
I thought he was well in goal then when he took that. But as I said, fish and chip paper now, it doesn't matter. But you just got to play the whistle. And, mate, you'll be having a nice old chat behind the post there now. Tigers, they want to watch themselves. I know they come into the game wanting to beat Burleigh, going into the semis, get a bit of momentum, but the last thing you need is to get whitewashed, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, it completely does the flip side of what you want, isn't it? Like we were talking, and we expected the Tigers to really turn it on here, and there's still plenty of time left in this match for them to get themselves back into it. But yeah, that's the flip side. You want to go into the finals with a good performance against one, but if one turns up and puts points on you, where do you sit after that?
And you know, to their credit, it's certainly an un-Tiger-like performance, what we've seen thus far this afternoon. But as you said, with 25 minutes in, we've still got plenty of footy to go.
So Roberts Davis, you'd suspect, will slot this one over just to the right-hand side of the uprights. Shoots it over, so another 2 points in the bank here for the Bears. They've got a nice lead now, 16-0 is the score.
Yeah, goal kickers do like to convert their own tries, Scotty.
Oh, points in the bank.
Yeah.
You saw, I couldn't quite see who it was. The name is escaping me. Even the Norths Devils yesterday afternoon got a bank of 36 points, I think. They might have played the Pride or one of the northern sides, so try scoring, kicking plenty of goals.
Yeah, there were some amazing scores in the Intrust yesterday, and some funny scores in the NRL as well.
So the Bears.
I know locally Mudgee Bar beat Ormo in the reserve grade, and Mudgee Bar beat Helensvale in the 20s, and Burleigh beat Southport Tigers in the 20s here today.
Ooh.
And as we said earlier, that Burleigh hung on in reserve grade and beat 24-22, beat Southport Tigers.
The Bears turned it over here, so this is a good chance for the Tigers to get themselves back into the match. Donnelly takes it forward. Just the final execution when they've been down this end of the field with the footballs. Let them down so far in the match, the Tigers. Nardi. Slow play ball. Trying to get a penalty from the referee. Doesn't get one. Parehi comes out. Links up with Seve. Pottinger comes back towards the middle of the field. Links up with Donnelly. Plenty of Bears there in defence. Hold them up right on the try line.
It's on the left, Scotty. It's on the left.
Do they go that way? They go short and burying underneath. Has he got the football down? Did they get underneath? The Bears they have. They've held him up right over the line. Good desperate defence from Burleigh. There's a big collision of bodies. A few of the boys a little bit slow to get towards their feet. Good work from Burleigh Bears there.
On the fourth tackle?
Yeah, they might still have a couple of plays up their sleeve here, the Tigers. So they'll come back and play on the 10-metre line. They come out on the left-hand side. Dayberg Muir takes the line on himself. Last tackle now here for the Tigers. They come back in. Parehi puts it on the toe. Oh, that's come off the crossbar. He's offside. Well, I don't think I've ever seen that before on the footy field. It looked like he was trying to slap it dead. It's popped up off the crossbar straight into the hands of a Burleigh player who's offside.
Yeah, I'll tell you now, and I know you're going to have a crack at me for saying it, but Leroy Loggins would be proud of that.
Oh, the great Leroy Loggins.
He'd be proud of that play.
What an absolute legend of the game.
That was unbelievable. The only bad thing, I wish it resulted in a try for Tigers. It would have made it more miraculous.
Good on the highlight reel. All right, but big chance here for the Tigers. Pottinger, turn it underneath. They try to go the Berry play again. Still fighting in the tackle. Again, how the ball spilt out the back. That's come off the boot of a Burleigh Bears
it's
player.
Still on out there.
Dayberg Muir takes the line on again. They're standing around. They're a little bit flat at the moment. They just take that tackle now. They'll get themselves a little bit more set. They're shaped up here. Slow to rise is Paulson. They come back out the right-hand side. Parehi puts it on the toe. That has gone way into the in-goal area. Far too strong off the boot. That was not the play.
Scotty, it was the interesting thing is Tigers, which surprised me. They look like they're dead set prepared to take this Burleigh forward pack on, which is great. So I'm guessing we'll see them punch through the middle, and they'll open it up wide later.
Nice work from Hampson coming up out of the line. They're trying to put pressure on here, the Tigers. Nice run out of half though. It's like Caleb Anderson. And a penalty.
Yeah, so you can't be doing that. They'll get 20 or 30 metres on the kick here, and they're primed for the attack again. Like an option that wasn't thought out real smartly down this end, and 3 tackles later, you're 40 out attacking the Southport Tigers line again. Now they need to man up here, Tigers. It's a very important set here.
Stratton off the restart. Standing quite flat on the right-hand side here. Turn it back on the inside. Jordan Scott comes to the left-hand side. They play short now. The ball's just popped out here for the Tigers. It has been knocked on. But it looks like it might go to the Burleigh Bears. Is that what the referee's indicating? Yeah, so it might have been stripped out from one of the Southport Tigers players when they've tried to regather the football. They've knocked it on themselves.
Well, there you
give
go.
The ball back to the Bears.
I don't know what goggles I'm wearing today, but it looked like you just point blank dropped it. Mate, looks like loosen up on the sideline. Darius Farmer, the Titans signed young fella who's been out for a long time with injury, so it's absolutely fantastic to see him back.
Big lump of a lad.
Mate, I'll tell you what he can hit. Defence, gee whiz. But, mate, the injuries, they go through the injuries, how they bounce back, and it's terrific. I don't reckon he's had a game for, 6, 7, 8, 9, possibly 10 weeks.
Jeez. Good to see him back out on the field. He'll be back out there soon, just on the sideline at the moment, wearing number 14 for the Burleigh Bears this afternoon.
He's a great kid too.
Egan comes off the right foot. Penalty tackle one.
See, we can't do that, Scotty. They just...
So this is interesting.
Dare to be frothing at the mouth, I'm telling you.
Captain Tufakati, he coming over to have a chat with the referee. So they've given away a few penalties on the trot here, Southport.
And 16's on for Burleigh. Luke Maiden, that's Nick Kosef's nephew. Jordan Scott, he's got the Sattler blood flowing through the blades. He's on that family tree, so there's a little bit of name dropping there this afternoon.
So here he is, he's on the field. That's Farmer. Look at this opening first run here for Farmer. Has he gone over the line?
I reckon he
must
has.
be inches away.
No.
Just short, Farmer.
What are we doing?
It's pretty generous. Lets them get back on their feet, get
Gee
their
whiz.
line set.
I don't get it, Scotty.
And the captain too makes the tackle. Now there's a conversation going on here in the ruck. They play on. Sparks. Again, inches away from the line here, Burleigh. They play out the back. Go against Grain Tower. Comes off the left foot, comes back out towards the right-hand side of the field. Tries to get on the outside of
Yeah,
David
well
Muir
done.
and
Good
does it.
defence, Tigers.
The two number 7s coming together. Good work from Dayberg Muir. Still a couple of tackles here for the Bears. Muir Ogle.
They need to hang on, Tigers.
Last tackle now. Slow play the ball. Off the toe there of Scott. And the captain's picked it up. Nice work. They hold on.
Picked it up with no one in front of him.
Good work. Run out of half here. Met solidly. Sparks in defence. Now the ball's popped out.
That's stripped.
Yeah, strips the call.
A little bit of push and shove.
Oh,
Settle down, boys.
So they'll retreat here. Penalty will go to the Tigers.
You know, last week we seen the old whack, 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 the two or three punches whacks in. You know what, slowly but surely, and I know it's against the grain, but it's starting to creep in just ever so slightly, the old 1-2, yes.
Sneaky ones, isn't it? Yeah, it caught us off guard last week down at Shugan.
I'll tell you what, he threw a couple of rippers.
Yeah, I watched it back in the end because I know in commentary we were saying I don't know why he just went for it. A little bit of the old facial in the ruck. Yep,
Yeah.
and he's gone, whoop, smell the cheese, young fella, bang, bang.
I thought he might have got him verbally. So it would have been interesting to see what he'd said. But if he's got him with the old under the chin, running tin, well. But mind you, he hit him with a couple of crackers.
Oh, I got him. He got him, didn't miss. Saw a couple in their reserve grade game out here this afternoon as well. The young fella actually came up here. This must be the sin bin. And the boys said to him, what happened out there? He goes, he gave me a bit of a slap, but he's been going at me all day. So, 10 in the bin. Doesn't take much.
All's fair in love and war.
So, decent kick. We get over the touch line, which is good. And again, looks like the wind's just dropped off. Just can't pick it here this afternoon. It's going to play absolute havoc with the players.
8:42. I'm guessing Tigers would certainly want to put points on, might possibly need to put points on before half time.
So Hampson, he's trying to direct traffic. This is a slow play the ball. Donnelly gets it done now. Miati crabs across field. The big man, he's been good.
Yeah, he has been good.
Come close the last few times. So they've looked to go short to him and he tried to burrow over the line. They come out. Parihi puts it out in front of Seve. Anderson making the tackle with some support. Donnelly comes off the left foot. Last one here for the Tigers.
Got to be smart here, Scotty.
Hampson dribbles it in. And is it still in the field of play? It's just dripped off dead. Yeah. So the kick was okay, but there was no chase and support there for the Tigers coming on the inside. So I don't know if they didn't hear what the call was.
And probably a tad unlucky too. That went over by a millimetre.
Yeah, it was a good kick. That was the thing. He threaded it through. It still just dribbles over. 7 tackle set here for the Burleigh Bears.
Reece Tappaney.
Nice short ball. Again, Sparks taking that one. Egan goes to the line, goes out in front of Anderson. It's Muir-Ogle, my apologies. And turned it over. Probably a ball that could have been taken. It was right out in front of
Muir-Ogle. Yeah, it probably wasn't an ideal pass, but you'd certainly expect your centre to take it, that's for sure.
So again, under 7 to go.
Regan Muir-Ogle, whose nickname's the King. I don't know where from.
It's a handy nickname to have.
Oh, it's sensational, isn't it?
It seemed to do a bloke called Wally Lewis pretty well over the years.
Well, I was thinking more about the pelvic thruster.
Explain.
The King,
Please explain.
Elvis Presley.
Oh, right.
Gee
Oh,
whiz.
mate. I'm sorry that I was born not when you were born.
Oh, gee whiz, how dare you question it? You don't know Elvis.
Mate,
Elvis.
Pelvic thruster. I thought you'd gone back to the Burleigh Heads Tavern again from last night or something. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Flower from half. Nice quick roll ball. Hampson picks it up. Links up with Polson.
Oh,
Ooh,
gee
geez, that looks
whiz.
like
Gee
some
whiz.
lazy
And he's
knees in
giving
the
one
front
for his
there.
measure.
Ooh,
Gee.
Lucky Paulson. Someone sniping him from the crowd, and all of a sudden his body went limp and the knees went in.
Didn't they?
Lucky to get away with it. Seems like he's getting a bit testy out there at the moment.
It sure is.
Nardi plays the ball. Donnelly out the back. Parihi turns in. That was Seve in the 16. Hampson again. Oh, absolutely crunched in the tackle. Just held the ball up. He's straight back to his feet, though. He's a tough little bugger, is Hampson. Got absolutely whacked on that occasion. Forced the error as well. The Bears answered the call.
You never get to see the little fella. Geez, they're tough, you know. They bounce straight up. I love seeing it. Yeah, you sit back and think, gee, how's he going to get up from that? And they bounce straight back up again. You've still got to have plenty of ticket to play this great game.
Oh, absolutely. So it was on the 5th tackle. The Bears will play the ball 10 metres out from their own line. Under 5 minutes left in the first half. And again, the Tigers, they just can't get their opening points at the moment. They've had.
No, they can't. And they certainly last 5 minutes. They cannot concede any more points.
Nice contact there.
That's great defence, Southport Tigers.
They're trying to muscle up, though, at least. They're still not going anywhere. They're down by 16 on the scoreboard. They're ripping in here towards the back end of the first half, the Tigers. Ooh, that looked a little high.
They've called the last three. Settle down, boys.
Yeah, they're coming in.
The push and shove.
Still a little bit of niggle in the middle of this pack. But yeah, that one just sparked up. Yeah, it's disappointing again because defensively they were doing a great job. They were getting up out of the line. Sometimes that eagerness just goes a little bit too far. Sparks still wanting to go on with it here a little bit. They got the penalty. Referees will just try to get them to cool their heads.
Mate, I think it's just the head-eye tackle. The penalty suffice. I'll be surprised if anyone goes on report here. I don't think punches were thrown.
So the touchies are in.
And you know what it is? It's a game of rugby league with passion. How good's that?
That's what you want to see, mate. That's all you want to see.
Well, we're down 16-0 with 5 to go before half-time. And guess what, fellas? I care. So you're going to hit me, I'm going to hit you straight back.
I suppose that's probably the main positive that the coach, Steve Dow, can take out of it. They are down quite significant, or not significantly, but 16 points is a decent lead to the Burleigh Bears, but at least they are still willing to get up and trying to get themselves back into the match. So Two's going to come over and have a chat here with the referee. It's on report.
Oh, it's on report.
So the Bears will get the penalty. A decent kick here will get him into good field position as well.
Yeah, it is a crucial 4 minutes for Southport. As we said a crucial 5 minutes. It's now a crucial 4 minutes. So I'm guessing 4 minutes. I'll probably have two sets at them.
Davis, good touch finder. Look at that.
So tackle for 12 tackles, and they shouldn't be going in with any more points against them.
So they'll restart. 25 out from their own line here.
Darius.
So
And 3-4 men in the tackle. That's good work, Tigers.
set up on the left-hand side. They come this way now. They play out the back. House shows and goes himself. Parihi having to wrangle him down with the one-on-one tackle if he got on the outside.
Danger.
Short side. They've had a dive at the line. They've gotten over as well. So right before the halftime break, we've been trying to talk the Tigers up and say defensively that they had to hold out there and not let the Bears in, but they couldn't do it, and the Bears get the 4th try on the board.
Mate, 16-0. You get your 10-minute break. You recharge yourself. You come back out. It's not an insurmountable lead. When you start talking 20+, they've got a battle on their hands here, Southport Tigers. I'm not saying it's beyond them, not by any stretch, but just 16-0 to 22-0 or 20-0. It just that psychological 20-point just makes it sound a mountain very high.
I think that's the biggest concern. Well, you can at least justify it. That's what you can say going into the halftime break. The 2 times where they've given away penalties, so we've come off a high shot there. I can't quite recall what the previous one was, but the Bears have made them pay both times. So
but as you'd expect them to do, there's a lot of class on that side. As we say, on paper, the two sides, there's a fair gap between them. And we said that down at Churgan, and Churgan completely out enthused Burleigh, which was terrific. There's nothing wrong with the effort of Tigers. It's just, they've probably made a couple of bad options, kicking options on 5th tackles. That's a great kick, TRD. So they go to 22-0 with that'll get us to half-time, you would think. But they've just, my only concern is we can't question the Southport Tigers' effort. The defence has been, and I know that might sound silly at 22-0, but the defence has been okay. But, mate, they haven't looked like scoring points, have they?
No, that's the concerning point. And the chances that they've been down there, the options which they've taken, haven't looked.
Perhaps they start utilising that 14th man, the water runner. Perhaps he could come into play.
Just create the extra overlap out there, just throwing the ball, see what happens. Might be able to get away with it when he's got the orange shirt on. So big set here for the Tigers. A minute to go. Will the Bears chance their arm here and throw the footy around?
I think they'll be happy to go on 22-0.
So just playing through the middle of the field at the moment. Nice little run from half there. Jordan Scott met nicely, though, from the Tigers. Paulson in there. Oh, contact again.
Yeah, great stuff.
Rock back.
Great stuff.
Coming in.
That's what I just said. 22-0 and you're banging tackles like that on. That's terrific.
Egan kicks inside the 40. Splits the winger and fullback. Picked up nicely at the back there from Rutley. Still 30 seconds left on the clock here for the Tigers. They're deep in their end of the field. Play the ball on the 30-metre line. Oh, the 20-metre line, I should say, now. Conlon comes from half. Maybe last chance here for the Tigers. Falau goes from half. Gets over the 40-metre line. Last play here, Hampson comes in. The ball spilt out the back here. It's play on. They've got the offload. Ogilmuir is wrapped up eventually, but alarm bells right on the halftime siren there.
Much of their
Boys
relief.
are still getting a little bit antsy as well. Both teams will separate and head into the sheds, but it's been all the Burleigh Bears in the first half here. They go into the halftime break with a very big lead of 22 points to 0 over the home side, the Southport Tigers. Welcome back to Owen Park here, home of the Southport Tigers. The Tigers, they're showing their intentions early. They've streamed back out onto the field. They're ready to get back underway. They've got a lot of work to do in the second half to get themselves back into this match. They're down by 22 points at the moment. 22 blot on the scoreboard. Mick, you were sniffing around the sheds there at half-time. What are some of the messages that you managed to pick up from both teams?
Oh, well, from the Burleigh perspective, mate, just keep doing what you're doing. And they're of the opinion Southport are getting a little bit frustrated, and then the last thing I want to do is fall into any of the garbage that was slowly but surely creeping into the game. Which I'm sure they're too smart or whatever to do that. But it's true, pure frustration. Southport got out here early. They need to do more than that. They need to get points on the board and pretty early to put themselves back into this game. As I said, that psychological 20 plus, it's unbelievable. And just at half time, I got a text from the Burleigh president, him and his wife in Pattaya, Thailand. So they're listening to the live stream. So a big hello to you over there, and I hope the sun's shining.
The holiday must be going good if you're tuning into the games back here on the Gold Coast.
Oh, mate, international ratings, Scotty. Unbelievable.
Oh, we're going global, Mick. We're going global. Hello to all our Thailand fans out there.
It's absolutely. Say hello to the Thailand fans. And all those Thailand fans at that little Aussie bar. Hello from Mickey Boy.
We're available to come over and commentate the Thailand A-grade grand final in a few weeks. But we're back underway here, and not what the Tigers wanted. They have turned the ball over early in their set. It's unfortunately Tu who has dropped the ball on that occasion, trying to get around him.
Well, I know we've got 39 minutes to go. We're second in, but this is a flat Southport Tigers side, which we're not used to seeing. And I suppose, even at this point, I'm probably preempting, it's that rotten performance or horrible performance. We'll just chuck that in the bin and get it out of the way before the semis start. Perhaps we're witnessing that, Scotty.
Yeah, tricky test to it as well. Like, as we said, they're coming off quite a few victories in a row, so it doesn't really matter who you come up against. Continuing that winning streak is hard enough, but now you're coming against the top side as House tries to get it on the outside.
And I know you like to beat all the sides and do, but, at the end of the day, we all know you only got to beat that side once. And that's the big, when you're on the big stage.
But they're doing a good job here. The Bears just to rattle as Egan goes himself as he looks to offload, holds on to the football. We've got 9 metres shy of the Tigers line. Scott, they go short. Sparks, 2 metres from the line. Scott comes right-hand side. Links with Egan. Egan just puts it on the toe and it's been dived on. No, has it been knocked on? I think it has. Well, Darius Farmer just had to fall on the ball pretty much to get the points. I don't know if he tried to scoop it up in the end and then put it back down, but he's knocked it on.
I don't know what happened there. That was amazing. I think he absolutely fall on it and there's 4 points.
A nice little kick off the toe there from Matt Egan. And do you know why I reckon it was a good kick? Because when he came out, do you know what he did? He picked the grass up and threw it up in the air.
There you go. We're all over it, Scotty.
He knows exactly which way the wind's going.
Mate, I had a yarn to Darius at half time. 10 weeks. He's been 10 weeks out, so good to see him out. And he's looking well, actually, too. He's looking fit for a bloke that hasn't played for 10 weeks.
Absolutely. So Tigers, they held on that last one. Nice work here from Donnelly coming off the left foot.
Geez,
he's
good
offload
meters
as well.
Good stuff.
Parihi getting the offload there from Donnelly.
Get
nice
these
work.
points, Tigers.
Now Donnelly sends it out the back. Dayberg-Muir goes short to 2. It's gone forward.
Yeah, well, I don't think it has, but, I know we've called it. But it was a silly... I was going to be critical of the play, but I still don't think the ball was forward. But their execution's out the window today.
So the Bears will get the scrum feed.
And that's been the story of the day, Scotty. Southport, they make inroads, they get down, they send them. What do? They take the foot off the throat and open the door slightly for Burleigh, and away they go. And this Burleigh side today, leave that door slightly ajar. They're just smashing it down and walking straight through it.
Yeah, it's a really good point because, it was Dallas Donnelly who did a great job going through the line. Now Roberts Davis, he gets on the outside of Dayberg-Muir. Dayberg-Muir's trying to come back at him. He can't get the ankle tap. He's just going down the sideline here, Roberts Davis. He's got to do it all on his own. Does he play the ball? He has. Well, straight from the scrum feed again. It's the second time we've seen the Bears pretty much just go the distance, and it's just the speed and individual brilliance there of Tyron Roberts-Davis.
He's running around in NRL last week, and here he is in local A grade. And what did we just say? Open that door ever so slightly, and they've kicked it through. He's just smashed that down and run 70 odd metres to score in the corner. And he's the goal kicker. Does he kick it, Scotty?
I'm backing him in. Easy. He might need to pick the grass up, though, just to double check.
Mate, I've done my homework at half time. Herbie Farnsworth.
Herbie.
The English import.
Yes.
The English import for the Broncos, playing with North Devils. Scored 4 tries and kicked 27 goals or whatever for a total point score of 100 or 92 or something.
That's why I was frustrated. I couldn't remember the name. It was the unique name of Herbie.
Herbie Farnsworth.
I was reading early this morning, getting absolute swagger points for the Devils.
I think he made his A-grade debut for the Broncos the same night, or might have been when Xavier Coates, the local kid from Marymount, Currumbin, Tweed, he made his first grade debut probably the same night.
Did a great job too, the young fella.
Yeah, well, there you go. You know, and we've called Xavier in the local comp this year, Scotty. Currumbin played Runaway Bay at Runaway Bay, and Xavier played that day. And mate, less than a month later, he's running around an NRL jersey on his back, and also the international Papua New Guinea jersey on his back. So
big year for the young fella.
He's had an amazing year, Xavier.
So Roberts-Davis moves in now, swings it across, and it's hit the upright, the left-hand upright.
That just adds to the drama. I won't miss it by 3 feet. I'll hit the post and give you something to talk about.
Exactly. Oh, we've seen it all. That one came off the post. We saw one come off the crossbar earlier on. All sorts of things happening out here this afternoon.
We saw Leroy Loggins and Elvis Presley and who knows who else was here.
So back underway. Egan getting underneath this one. Takes it nicely. Offloads to Tyler Sparks. Nice work through the middle of the field. They managed to drive him back. That's Luke Maiden. Another touch here for Sparks. It might be Reece Summer. Can't quite see the number. It is the number 12, Reece Summer.
Reece Summer, yes.
Scott goes from half. Luke Maiden again. Another touch in this set for Maiden. House. Still fighting in the tackle. They get him down now.
He has a crack, Georgie, has, doesn't he?
He's getting his hands on the footy quite a lot. A sort of spiral kick as well here. Taken nicely again. Safe as you like. Rutley at the back again.
That was as safe as a bank. In flight, I thought he'd struggle with that, but he just absolutely gobbled that up.
He's probably been their shining light, if anything, this afternoon. Rutley for the Tigers. It's been safe at the back, as we said, but does get quite involved in attack as well. Folau again. The two centres are doing plenty of work coming out of half, trying to get their team getting forward. Folau and Conlon for the Tigers. Dayberg-Muir goes to the line, manages to break through here. Good work from Dayberg-Muir. They've got to get up. Roberts-Davis all over him at the moment. They get going. Burleigh turns it back underneath.
Folau.
So Folau infield, doing some work. They go right-hand side again. Burleigh out the back. There's Rutley, comes off the left foot and sends it over the sideline.
Well, he gives them all a breather, but they've got to start. I know. What are we? 32 to go. They've got to start chancing their arm a little bit, I think. You know, gives your forwards a rest up and away we go. But they got to start getting repeat sets and trying a few different things. They are desperate for points.
Yep, down by 26. A lot of work to do for the Tigers. They've just got to get one. They've got to get the next one, that's for sure. They've got to hold out.
Well, mate, we've seen many times. You get the next one, all of a sudden, 2 or 3 and we got game on. But it just doesn't look like it. They just don't look like
what's happened here? Yeah, he's going to bring it back for an obstruction. Matt Egan's putting the arms up in the air. It was a dead giveaway.
Yeah, they give themselves straight up. I don't know how I'd go robbing a bank with Matty Egan. Gee whiz. Yes. Unbelievable.
So, too much honesty. But it's just, it was the right call. And all of a sudden, you see that though, sometimes the obstruction goes and then the player just kind of stops and comes back and they manage just to take the tackle. But in that occasion, Cal Anderson goes, no, there's space in front. I'll just take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
They bring him back. So big chance here for the Tigers. They've got to polish off the back of their set. Dayberg Muir, nice work to hold on to that one. Just shy, still fighting. He must be really close to the try line here.
Very close.
Inches away. They come right-hand side again. Donnelly manages to skip out over
There's
the
your
top.
try.
Have they slammed the ball down? No,
he hasn't.
Short again.
Gee whiz, he must be close.
Parihi, left to right, floats it out, picked up off the bounce, and they've dived in the corner.
Yeah.
Have they got their opening points?
Yeah, good to
Watini
see.
in the corner. Yeah, they're going to point to the spot. Nice work. There was space available to him. Parihi summed it up. Didn't get the greatest ball, but the bounce popped right in the hands of Watine.
No, that was good football, Pari. He read that well. He looked up, looked outside, and, mate, I thought his two options was the kick or the long pass, and he's thrown the long pass out, which led to the try and good stuff. Let's see if he can punch us over 26-6, and let's see what happens in the next 5 minutes.
Who knows what can happen. There's still plenty of time. We're under the half an hour break to go, so...
You know, it's not only this local comp. You know, you see the Intrust Super Cup scores, you see the NRL scores. These are the big scores over the weekend. So, you know, I say that 26 mentally and insurmountable, but, mate, you know, they've certainly still got their backs to the wall, but stranger things have happened, that's for sure. And as we said, we say week in, week out, it's amazing what a few points can do to a side. All of a sudden there's a spring in the step, and watch out, here we come.
Yeah, they got the home crowd advantage as well. The club's looking nice and full over there this afternoon.
And they've certainly got the support in the scorer's box as well.
Absolutely.
Two massive grins. Two massive grins on the face of the officials up here.
Oh, they can hear it. I saw there was a motion of like a train as if they were coming out of the station. The boys, they're starting to fire up. So this is going to be an extremely tough conversion attempt. You couldn't get any closer to the sideline if you tried.
Now, I know the junior competition's finished tomorrow, and I'm led to believe Southport's done very well in the junior ranks as well. They've got a lot of sides in the semi-finals, which is good to see as a club. And as we spoke about earlier, they won the Women's Division 2 yesterday, which is great. So, you know, regardless of what happens here today, I'm damn certain the Tigers will finish second in the local A-grade competition. So the club's in a pretty good place.
Conversion attempt unsuccessful, unfortunately, from Barry Rutley. So
well, he wasn't going to do everything right, Scotty. He's done a lot right this afternoon, so we'll forgive him for the non-conversion from the sideline in Hurricane Harry's wins.
Pretty tough attempt, that's for sure. Roberts Davis goes to grubber restart, and it's bounced up. Interesting one there off the boot there.
Absolutely interesting. There's another curveball.
We've seen it all this afternoon.
Last time I saw that was under 12, I think.
And probably not intentionally either. Probably tried to get it. Sometimes they slip down a little bit. So let's see what the Tigers do. Set after points. Let's run through the middle of the field again. Oh, they lift him up. Managed to get him down safely. It's Donnelly again. It's been impressive in the second half.
Yeah, he's having a crack, Donnelly, that's for sure. He's got a fair old name to live up to, bud.
Absolutely. Hampson. Nice kick. Goes
Here we go.
over the shoulder.
He's let it go. No, he's bringing it back.
It's gone out on the full.
No, what do we... Oh, that's two.
Jeez,
Gee whiz.
must have been pretty close there from Hampson. It was a nice kick. He scooted out a half.
Geez, that's a costly error.
3 in the match so far for the Tigers.
And, you know, they're playing at home. That's what I say. You're not used to seeing home sides. You know, they sort of know the conditions of the grounds.
Yeah,
and a couple of those have been shockers, absolute shockers. You know, that's a 50-metre gain for Burleigh here.
Yeah, tackle 1 here to Maiden as he goes over. And it's going to be played on the 40-metre line in Southport's end of the field.
That's Nick Kosef's nephew, the Manly legend, and young kid from Toowoomba who's signed with the Titans development squad. There's young Luke.
Dylan Kelly trudges forward. Scott links up the tower, out the back to House, throws a little dummy. He makes the tackle. Come back in the middle of the field again, Sparks. The ball's spat out here,
And
still fighting, and he's just going to slam this one down. Dylan Kelly, Again, just a little offload, I think it might have been. I couldn't quite see how the ball came out, and it just falls in the hands there of Kelly, and there's no one in front in support from the Southport Tigers. They roll overnight. Too easy for the Burleigh Bears.
But what do we do yet again? The 50-metre gain from the turnover, kicking the ball out on the full, open that door, Burleigh smack it down and score points again. You know, and it's not as if they're working at it. They do it almost instantaneously.
Oh, the Tigers. What would the messages be out there now? What would they be looking to get out of this back end of the second half?
Well, I know what I'd be doing. You turn around. Well, a win here is out of the question. You would think he's going to punch us over. That's going to be, what's that, 32-4? 32-4. What I'd be sending out, turn around and said, let's have a dig in it. Let's see it scoring for the last 25 minutes.
They've got to take some sort of positive out of this match going in. Like, as we mentioned, 3 rounds left of the competition. They are sitting pretty securely in second spot. But no doubt this result in this game will be in the back of their mind if they do come up against Burleigh in the finals in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, but as I said, the good thing, or not such a bad thing, you turn around and say, well, and this is, I dare say, this will be up there with probably their worst performance of the year. So 3 weeks out from the semi-finals, everyone's entitled to have a bad day. Well, maybe we won't even do a video review, we'll just throw the thing straight in the bin and let's worry about next week. But, 25 minutes ago, they got to show a bit of ticker and a bit of backbone here for sure, which we know they've got plenty of.
Oh,
Gee
it's
whiz.
gone dead over
Gee whiz.
off the kickoff. And I was just interested to see. It looked like it actually went through the post.
Well, you don't get 2 points for it.
It's ridiculous. Unlucky. They need every point that they can get. They should just give it to them anyway. And it's just gone dead off the kickoff. So,
and I'm not having a go at the Tigers, but that's the home side. I can't, you know what I mean? That's where I'm flabbergasted that, they're not kicking smart. Or surely they know the conditions better than Burleigh.
Yeah, that's probably been the biggest aspect of their game that's let them down. 3 out on the full. Off the kick-off there as well. Unfortunately, it was Rutley.
Well, the 3 out on the full. They've kicked dead, in goal, trying to get repeats. That they haven't crept over the line. They've gone over the line by 30 metres, So they've just read it not real well at all.
So Stratton, again, they get good purchase off their kick to the sideline, the Bears. So tackle 2 this will be with Maiden. They're about 12 short of the line. Bears, they smell blood in the water. They're still going on with it, but that one just goes behind Egan, and Dayberg Miller does a good job just to outmuscle him.
Yeah, good on him. Yeah, good on him.
So offside and a penalty as well. Now kick this out, Tigers.
Oh, absolutely kick it out. Fair dinkum, I'm going home if he doesn't.
He's given that absolutely everything. Rutley. Well, we know he's got plenty in his legs. He just kicked one about 55 on the fly before.
That's it.
So just a quick stoppage in play, waiting for the pill as we return back out here. He kicked it that far. Took the young fella 5 minutes to go and retrieve it. We're back underway. Full out, takes a tap. 2. Gets him to the 40. Oh, good contact in the tackle there.
That's great contact.
Corey
Dylan
Walker.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly coming up on Walker. Hampson goes short. Now they're aiming up Maiden. Good contact in the tackle from him as well. So the Bears, they're playing out this afternoon. Parehi comes off the right foot, looking to offload. Hangs on to the football now. Tackle 20 out. They come back into Donnelly. Comes off his left foot as well. 5th tackle now for the Tigers. Hampson holds it up. Dayberg Muir, he's got good footwork. Comes back towards Hampson. Shows to go long as well. Puts it on the toe. It looks strong. Conlon trying to bat that one back in. But again, too short.
I know it's a seventh tackle restart, but at least they're trying something there different. I'm still a bit amazed at Gossack. They're still taking Burleigh on the forwards. They're in a position. They're down 32-4. They've got to start chancing around. They've got to start throwing it around. And, mate, there's action out wide, I guarantee you.
Muir Ogle. Good run, good metres. Donnelly in the tackle.
Reece Tapani.
Coming in from the wing. Do some work. They come down right-hand side. Egan. Links up. Walker.
You know, it's a facet of the modern-day game. I love the outside backs doing a lot of the forward work. It's a facet I absolutely love.
It's so big these days too. Your outside players, your wings and centres.
And here we go. Silly penalty. Guess what happens here?
Yeah, you got to be nervous, don't you? If you're a Tigers fan, every time they tend to give silly penalties away like this, the Bears have made them pay pretty much on every occasion. So they're talking tactics here. The Bears, no doubt a set piece is going to be coming their way. Good opportunity to throw something that you've been working on at training.
Absolutely. 20 to go, 32-4. You can start mucking around a bit or tossing it up a bit.
So let's see what they've got here. The Bears, Scott holds it himself.
Well, I don't think that was a set play, Scotty. You might have called that wrong.
If they've been working on that one at training, I think they need to rethink it. Yeah. So Sparks. It's been good. Plenty of touches in the second half.
Always a workhorse. Tyler.
Here we go. Back into Maiden. Just shy of the line again. Scott comes out. There's plenty of space. They rushed up out of the line again, and they're just going to fall over this one with Stratton. And Konatoa summed it up perfectly. That's the second time we've seen outside-in players from the Tigers really run up out of the line to try and put pressure on, and it's just opening up the gates, and they're strolling over the Bears.
Yeah, sadly, that was just too damn easy. That's what it was. And, you know, we picked it. Guess what? The penalty comes, and what do we say? Guess what's going to happen here? You know what I mean? We don't want to, as I keep going back to, you know, let's blow the full-time hooter, throw the game in the bin and worry about next week, because guess what? We got a major semi coming up in 3 weeks' time.
And it'll be interesting to see how well, we know that they've got class across their team, but how you recover after a game like this, if they really need to just, like you said, put it in the bin, refocus. Not too sure who they're playing next week, but I think it'll be super important that they put in a good performance and just get themselves back going, because you see teams, doesn't matter what grade it is, too, you throw a couple of losses this time of the year, you can start to get the wobbles going into finals. Not what you want.
But I'll guarantee you one thing. I rate Steve Dowd as a human being, and I rate him greater as a coach. Mate, if anyone will pull him out of this, it'll be him. Mate, he'll do his homework, mate. He's a great people's person. Mate, he'll turn this side around. And as we know, you know what I mean, this is so un-Tiger-like and it's so uncharacteristic. And you know what? At the end of the day, you turn around and say, well, we've only got to beat Burleigh once.
Yep, anything can happen on the big dance.
And I can tell you, I guarantee you, mate, if you're in this position and you wanted a coach to be coming to training Tuesday night to sort things out, Steve Dowd's your man, I'm telling you.
Geez, I'd be nervous if I was a Tigers player turning up to training on Monday.
Whew. Well, you'll be trying to buy Steve a beer tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't worry, Dowdy, I'll buy that one.
All right, back underway. Folau taking the kick off this time. I think Rutley has gone I kicked it dead last time. He can take this one.
Well, there you go, Scotty. We just got the mail. The bounce-back game next week's against Churgan. And that's there's no better game than that to be bouncing back, I tell you.
Absolutely. We know Churgan are going to bring everything to the park.
Well, if they smell a little bit of blood in the water, you know, they can absolutely take advantage of it.
Here's the one to keep an eye out for and tune in next week. It'll be covered through Bar TV as well. Slow play the ball here as the Bears go over the halfway house. He just puts the pedal to the metal. Again, space opening up. Still going here as House. Conlon finally makes the tackle. Last one here for the Bears. Let's see what sort of kick they go with. Toa throws it up. Oh, he's taking an absolute air swing at that now. Has he gotten hands onto that? He has. So I think we might have a change. I think Barry Rutley may have gone off the field.
No, he's playing on the right wing. He must be able to breathe or be a little bit injured.
Yeah, because it was Dexter Moroney who's been playing on the left wing. He's actually heading back to that position now, but found himself a fullback on that occasion.
Well, Scotty, you know, you say the bounce back, you put the game to bed. Well, they got Churgan at Boyd Street next week, so that's, you know what I mean, that's a great bounce back game. You go down there, do the job, get the job done, mate, your season's back on track.
Yeah, that will be a good one. We've been at Boyd Street the last few weeks. And Tugan have been up and down a little bit themselves. They knocked off Burleigh. We called that game only a few weeks ago.
Mate, they're the only ones that taken points.
Scrum. Scott's just got himself, just turns it back in to Egan. That is far too easy. Well, the defence here, there's got to be massive question marks over the Tigers' defence this afternoon. Coming out of a scrum, how they rushed up in defence like that, it's mind-boggling to say the least. And just space available for Scott turns in Egan. Straight over.
Yeah, the only concern, which I've kept saying and whatever, it's just all too easy. All too easy, wasn't it? You know what I mean? That's you're sort of we're to the point now of this game. And they want to watch the 16 points, so there's still plenty of time to score points. So they've just got to watch themselves here, Southport. That's danger, danger, danger.
It's getting ugly out there for the Tigers. Yeah, the ease of which some of the tries have come about this afternoon is probably the biggest concern for them. A couple of big long-range efforts, but there's been ones like that, just walkover as well.
And I don't know whether you picked that up or not, Scotty, but that's a little bit of lost in space for you. Danger, danger, danger.
No, I didn't pick that up again because I'm far too young to understand what you're talking about most of the time, Mick. Yeah. You need to come to my level, mate. I wasn't born in the 50s.
You be nice, but that window's open. I'll touch you straight out of it.
If I didn't pick up on your Elvis Presley, right, how was I going to pick up on your Lost in Space?
Oh, you know what? I've clearly underestimated you. I really have. Gee whiz.
Oh, 2 more points in the bag, straight over, right in front for the Bears. 44 on the board now. What a scoreline this is turning out to be, 44-4. Yowza. Wasn't expecting that coming here this afternoon.
No, that's for sure. I was really, really expecting a very tight game.
So again, familiar restart here for Southport. Off the left boot, they're a full out.
You know, I don't know why. And that's what I said, we all have flat days. We all have flat days in life. We all have flat days, or whatever we do. But it's, as I said many, many times, it's un-Tiger-like, and they've just been flat as all day. And there's a little bit of niggle just before half-time. That was purely through frustration.
Still going here. The Bears, this defence, it's turning to...
Yeah,
it's still going.
Ridiculous.
Bellini, that's one of the biggest runs of his career, surely.
Unbelievable.
He's gone past about 7 of the Tigers in defence. Egan, he goes to the line, plays short to McDonald. Egan again. They go back in. Kelly. He's got to try this afternoon. They're stacked on the left-hand side. They head that way now. Scott sends it out. Toa comes back in off the left foot. Couple of his tackles as well. Gets the offload out the back again. Dylan Kelly. Flick ball. No, this has popped up perfectly. There's no one in front.
Let's have a look.
Has he got the toe to go there? Look at this cover here. Muir Ogle coming across field.
The king.
The king, Elvis.
The king's on fire.
What about the toe there from Muir Ogle? He came across from this side of our commentary side of the field as well.
Mate, there's a burn mark in the grass back here. He was going that quick.
So Folau. Nice ball on the outside. They're going to get there, the Tigers.
Yeah,
good work.
Yeah, good on.
They managed to get some advantage of that run down the sideline. Dexter Moroney. Finally, a little bit of luck goes the way of the Tigers. And they get points.
Yeah, points on the board and keep smiling. And you know what? Let's go back, boys. Let's have a crack and let's put another one on the board. 13 to go. We still got a try or two in this game, or do you say, Scotty?
Yeah, you'd think so. I think the Tigers, well, hopefully they get a little bit of something out of that.
See, I don't know whether did you arrive at the game, and I know you turn around and say, and I know Dowdy publicly says, but, you play mind games where you want to beat every side going into the semis and all that, and I suppose you do, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. The fact of the matter is Burleigh's going to finish on top of the ladder. The fact of the matter is Southport's going to finish second on top of the ladder. The fact of the matter, points differential have nothing to do with anything. So why the heck are we here? We probably should have arrived. Got the two coaches, two teams together, said, let's go over to the club and have a beer and we'll all go home and Bob's your uncle.
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah,
as long as we were invited.
That's possibly something Gold Coast Rugby League could look at, when we've got these games later in the season. We just, we'll have a day off and have a bit of a get-together and everyone's happy.
Is there a suggestion box? Can we send something through?
I got an inkling I'd get a fair bit of support from different factions of the community there, Scotty.
Yeah, I think so. So those listening in at home this afternoon, if you like some of our ideas. Nice strike off the boot there. Barry Rutley.
Yeah, good stuff.
Gets another 2 points there
Good on you,
for
Barry.
the Tigers. What else have you got in your bag of tricks, Mick, in your crazy, kooky mind?
Oh, well, a weekend in Pattaya, that brings to mind.
Well, not everyone can get weekend trips to Thailand.
Yeah, the Burleigh president, he's going all right, isn't he?
Oh, mate. Good wicket.
Gee whiz. I reckon he'd be sucking on a nice fancy cocktail too at the moment.
What's he doing over there? Like some recruitment or?
Without question. Without question. There's a young front row over there. Geez, he goes good.
So Tigers again with Conlon. Play through the middle. Again, big bopper. Number 10, Nardi. Classic call of get him on side. If you don't hear that at least 5 times,
but
I think.
Scotty, 44-10, 10 minutes to go, get him on side. Absolutely love it. Or the ref, you're a mug.
Oh, now there's a shot here that's just slipped up from Scott. They're going to come back, I think.
Yeah.
It didn't look too vigorous. Was Parehi, as he kicked it, just slipped up a little bit. It clipped him high.
Well, mate, the good thing is, which you can half tell, clearly we're going to get a penalty here, but he hasn't hopped up blowing up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you think you're copping a raw shot or a rough shot or whatever, you hop up and say, well, what are you doing, you mug? Well, he hasn't done that. He's hopped up and it's not even going on report, so just one of them things.
We'll get back underway.
And I know we're getting away from it, but you talk about, geez, he hasn't kicked that out. Gee whiz, he's lucky.
Oh.
Hey, that's wrong. Yeah, unbelievable. Mate, fifth tackle option, we're kicking them out on the 4x30 metres, and penalties we can't kick out.
Might be a bit of kicking practice on Monday night. Oh, that's been stripped 1-on-1. That'll be a knock-on, though. No, he's saying that the Tigers have lost control here. That, to me, looked like it was stripped 1-on-1.
Yeah, I know you've got to be fair, the old referee, but at 44-10, you'd be inclined to favour the home side, wouldn't you?
Ooh. Interesting call, yeah. So the rubber, the green, not going the way of the Southport Tigers on that occasion.
And you talk about the referee, and I know we're talking cross codes, but the Bledisloe Cup last night, you'd see the All Black get sent off on.
Mate, I didn't see it. Look, okay, this was my thought. I knew the game was on, and I went, I'm just going to check the score with 10 to go to see how much New Zealand are winning by.
Yeah,
and I saw that the Wallabies had 44 on the board. I was like, are you serious? And then I watched, and now I'm like, yeah, we're going to win the World Cup. So, token fan, just jump on board like I'm on board with the Brisbane Lions. What a great team. Great AFL team. They're going to win the flag. Shades of 03. So, love a bandwagon. So the Bears, again, here he is. A huge run. How's he still got energy in the legs? Ben Vellini still going here. Look at him fighting for every metre.
Yeah, he's a good kid, isn't he?
That last run was amazing from Vellini. Egan puts it on the toe. Watini picking that one up at the back. And the Energizer Bunny, the king, Muir Ogle, making that last tackle. They skip on the outside of him on that occasion.
Yeah, and the kick's as good as a chase, and you see Burleigh's chase there. Geez, there was 11 players down there.
Conlon. Another run out of half here for Lau. Oh, the ball's popped out here again and lost. So it looked pretty similar. It looked like there was hands in there again, but the ball spills out. Another mistake. And the Bears.
And you know what? You sit on the football field, and we've all been in these positions with 7 to go, and you're just saying, gee whiz, will that clock hurry up? And I think there's 13 Southport Tigers players out there and a coach and a bench that are just saying, would that clock please hurry up? Let's get us out of here.
Yeah, can't wave the white flag, unfortunately. I'm sure they would like to if that was an option. They get away 44-10 on the scoreboard. The Bears, jeez.
And you know, you say, you know, it hurts them or do whatever. You know, let's not forget they've steamed out second on the ladder. You know, they've had a stellar season, Southport. So you're not going to hang, you're not going to hang them or hang the hat on one performance. That's for sure.
No, they'll be back. Like we said, 2 more rounds next week. We've got Chugan at Boyd Street. It'll be a tough ask, but yeah.
Burleigh's got Ormo at Burleigh.
There you go. So we're getting to the pointy end of the season. Really looking forward to the finals coming up. The Rugby League Gold Coast comp this year. It's been a great competition.
The King's grown a leg, hasn't he? He's had a big second half.
Oh, absolutely. Must have got into the oranges at half time. He's full of...
Good. I'm glad he's ruled that because I'm thinking, don't you dare rule a strip. No?
After the last 2 that we've seen, the Tigers going against them.
And at the end of the day, you watch the game. We all love the game. We all watch the game. And from a referee's perspective, mate, whether you agree with what he does, the only thing I ever look for at any level is consistency. And if he's doing it with both sides, well, mate, we can all live with it. I certainly can. So that's good refereeing, Mr. Swass.
So Daybag Muir will feed the scrum here for the Tigers. Picked up at the back from Hanson in the lock position. See what the Tigers do here. This set, clock winding down. So about 5.5 to go. Bears still getting plenty in the tackle. Gardy, another hit up. Plenty of metres and hit ups this afternoon for the big man.
So there's a thing with Burleigh's game, and particularly in the local league. They start the season afresh because they're in that intra super cup system. They're training October, November, and they come out in their first 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds. They're fitter. They're absolutely fitter than the opposition sides. And the opposition sides close the gap as the season rolls on. Have a look at this Burleigh side today. They wouldn't blow a candle out at the moment. You know, they're starting as strong. They're finishing as strong as they started.
Oh, it's getting a bit scrappy out here at the moment. So pressure on Parihi as he was trying to kick it there, and then he tried to look for some support from his outside backs to get the ball away. Loose pass, and the Bears pick up the crumbs. Toa heads out to the left edge. Stratton, still going Stratton. Get him down to the ground now. Toa again. Bellini. Scott shows and goes himself. Still going to Scott.
Now, fair dinkum, just hold him out, Southport. You got 4 minutes.
And last tackle here is Egan. Dribbles it down. Oh, it's bounced away. They've just got to fall on it. And who else to pick up the crumbs? Regan Muir-Ogle deserves a try. He's been really good in the second half.
And I apologise to the Tigers fans and supporters. I just put the kiss of death there. Just hang on for 4 minutes, and one tackle later they've scored the try.
Put the absolute mock on them.
And there's one Southport Tiger official absolutely glaring at me in this box. If looks could kill, I reckon I'd be off.
I hope where's your car parked? Is it close that you can get into it and get out of here after this match? I hope they're not listening over at the club over there. And don't go that way if you are.
No, I parked at Labrador.
Good. And it just shows when it's just not your day. Like, he was there to take the ball, and that last bounce of the footy just kind of went over his shoulder, and there was 3 Bears to swoop on that one. Pick up the crumbs. Another one on the board. So what's that put us? Geez, he converts this. That's 50.
Well, they're giving Dylan Kelly a kick. I don't know where he goes. I haven't known Dylan to kick too many in the list, so it might be a milestone match for Dylan, is it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Just to the right-hand side of the uprights.
If they throw you a token kick, I'll tell you what the must is. You must get it.
Oh, for sure.
You know, they're not saying, here, have a go, bang it over.
All right.
So here you go, DK.
I'm nervous for him. But surely this will go straight over, and it does. Nice work from the young man.
Mate, the way he's kicked that's not the first goal he's ever kicked.
Nice.
That was a ripper.
Done a bit of practice over the years, no doubt. That is the 5-0 on the board for Burleigh. Yowza.
Righto, under 2 minutes to go. If you're balling an egg, it's going to be soft.
Oh, my God. Oh, you got me on that one. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, it's gone out of the full.
Oh, yeah, stop it.
Oh.
Stop it. I tell you what, they're very good at that today. Very good at that today.
If you got points for that, they'd be in the match.
Oh, mate, if they got points for that, they'd fair dinkum, they'd be 40 in front.
Oh, crikey.
You know what? I've said it and said it. That is mind-boggling. A home side doing what they've done with ball in hand today is unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen as many balls go out on the full, go dead over the in goal.
Surely they train here. Do they train at a different field?
Oh, crikey. And that's the biggest concern. Like, you could understand, like, the wind has played an effect if it was both sides that have been doing it. Burleigh haven't done it once. It's been Southport every time. Bellini again. Look at him still fighting in the tackle. He deserves a meat pie, that's for sure. Now, this has been stripped and just falls in the hands.
But does DK have another shot?
Oh, why not? He's probably pointing 2-2-2.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's trying to calm down. 30-odd seconds left to go.
No,
what do they do?
6-pointer. Jordan Scott's got it.
No, I think he's filthy. They're going to go for the
punching
two.
The two. Straight to Kelly. He's the man.
Yeah, he might have overruled there. Scott wanted to go to the tap, that's for sure. So this will finish us off here.
Well, I don't consider myself to be a selfish man, but if I was on the paddock, I'd be reckoning, listen, give me a crack, will you? I wouldn't mind getting 2 points on the board.
Absolutely. Share it around. There must be somebody else in their team that hasn't got any points or a try on the board so far throughout the season that would be starting to get pretty nervous towards the back end of this year.
But all jokes aside, it's an unbelievable scoreline. If you would have told me today, or you would have told me this morning or yesterday that we're coming to Owen Park to watch the 1 and 2 play and the scoreline's going to be 50, probably 52-10, I would have said, well, guess what? Whatever you want to get off it.
Yeah, so the Bears coming into this match had already wrapped up the minor premiership as the conversion goes over. Another 2 points for them. First spot is settled, and they have well and truly claimed their stake as premiership favourites now this afternoon. A comprehensive victory in the end over the second place Southport Tigers. Final score 52 points to 10. But still, the Tigers, they'll stay in second position. As we may mention, they're playing Tugun next weekend. That's going to be a big match for them to try and get that momentum coming back into the final series.
Mate, if you're in the position of Southport Tigers, I think it's a perfect game from next week. It's Tugun at Boyd Street. The last thing you'd want to be doing is playing one of the bottom sides or having the bye. Mate, it's next week's a dead set character game for them, and I'm certain with the powers in charge, with the Dowds and the rest of his men around him, mate, they've got the bounce back in them for sure and certain.
So big victory here this afternoon at Owen Park for the Burleigh Bears. 52 points to 10 is the final score. Thank you very much for tuning in through Bar TV, and we'll be back next weekend with another match of the round for the Rugby League Gold Coast A-grade competition.